Hey guys, Todd here with Great Escape Farms. I'm gonna do a quick homestead update video this week. So I'm gonna start off with the project I was working on last week, which was my groundhog issue here. And as you can see, he has been busy digging all around here trying to find a way in, but he has not figured out, not made a way past my first line of defense here. You can see he's been doing lots of digging here. Let me just, yep. So he did not make it in anywhere, and he was only working in this area, just kind of made a mess of things. So I will go ahead and cover all this back up this weekend. And this section I just did temporarily, kind of set up to keep him out of here, and amazingly enough, it worked. He didn't even try over here, it looks like, or if he did, there's no signs of it. So hopefully this weekend I'll be able to put this section in permanently. The plan is to lift the lattice off, put the chicken wire on the back side, dig it in, and then put the lattice on top. That way it'll make it easier to take care of the lattice, paint it, and stuff like that. So that is the goal for this weekend. I also have the other side where he was just digging a hole down next to the house. I did the same thing there. I just kind of laid the chicken wire down with rocks on top. He didn't mess with that. I also collapsed his tunnels over there. So hopefully he was just starting on that and he won't mess with it too much. So I'll leave that kind of be. But this one I do want to put in permanent to keep anything out, because I've had an issue here on and off for 3 years now. So this will go on permanent here. So I'll go ahead and take other videos of other areas of the yard as the weekend goes along here. Okay, I figured I'd do a real quick garden update here. So this is my perennial garden. If you go back and you look at some of the previous episodes, I had done a sheet mulch project where I put in multiple different layers here, working on improving the soil, and then I started putting some perennial plants in, and I am just amazed at how well everything is doing in here. So I have a lot of perennial plants in, but also have annual plants in, like some basil right here, and the red one back there, that's amaranth, just to fill in the spaces until my perennial stuff takes off. So I have raspberries right here, I have some strawberries in, I have grapes growing up the fence, artichokes, I have chives here, all kinds of different perennial plants. But I want to show you how fertile the soil is. And I was here last week, didn't have any ripe tomatoes, but I had a bunch of them coming on, and I have 2 tomato plants in here. I don't even know if you can see it, but just kind of let them set down. I didn't stake them or anything, and there are just hundreds upon hundreds of tomatoes in here. And mind you, I am not here, I have not watered anything in this bed one time this year, and we've had a drought for the last month. But the sheet mulch with all the mulch and stuff on top, and the fertile soil underneath, and the hay and everything else, lots of organic material to keep the roots moist in here. Everything is just flourishing here. So in 1 week we came up with all these tomatoes right here, all different types. This one is a striped variety here. All of these are heirlooms, and let me show you this one right here. This is a huge tomato. This is called a mortgage lifter, and it is an heirloom variety from back in the early 1900s, maybe even the late 1800s. And it's called mortgage lifter because the guy who created it paid off his mortgage by selling the seeds and selling the plants, because everybody wanted them so bad because of the huge tomatoes. But the garden here is just doing absolutely beautiful. I couldn't have asked for more out of this. In the back area here, if you remember, I didn't have enough cardboard at the time to finish, so I just went ahead and I put down some tarp here, and as I'm getting bags of leaves and other stuff, I'm tossing it on. And I went ahead and right on the edge here, I planted some different types of melons, watermelon and cantaloupe, and let's see, this one right in front of me, the big one here, is butternut squash. And let's see, right here I have a bunch of butternut squash. Hey, you can barely see it, it's just coming out. So these are all annual, so when the fall comes, I'll go ahead and I'll finish up with the sheet mulching here, and then I'll put in some more perennials next year. But for right now, everything is doing just absolutely gorgeous here. And like I say, I couldn't ask for better here. So also, I'm sorry, I don't know if I showed you in a previous video, but I went through and I added barbed wire I have 4 strands of it going up here. So it is from the ground level, it's going up about 7.5 feet from the outside. So that is intended to keep the deer out, and so far I've not had any find their way in. And down at the bottom here, the same chicken wire I'm using to keep the groundhog out from under the deck. I have the chicken wire, the coated chicken wire around the bottom here. That's to keep the rabbits and the groundhogs. The groundhogs probably couldn't get through this 2x4, but the rabbits definitely could. So the chicken wire will keep them out. And what I did is I put cardboard down at the bottom section. I weeded everything, put cardboard down up against the ground, and then I put the chicken wire down on top of that, coming up the fence, and then I put mulch around the outside to hold it down and prevent anything from just kind of shoving it aside and digging under it. And so far that's been working great. I haven't had any critters in here, so very happy with how everything is going here. So that's it for this section of the yard. Hey guys, one last thing I'm doing with the groundhog here. As you can see, the house is right up there, and I mow around the house, and then there's the garden, but back behind the garden, and I have a lot of fields around that I don't keep mowed. So this is good cover for the groundhog. So one of the things I'm going to do this weekend is take this little bad boy right here, 1949 Ford 8N tractor with a bush hog on the back, and I'm going to mow all of this down. So I don't plan on keeping it nice and groomed all the time, but at least mow it down right now so it's not the greatest habitat for groundhog to hide in. So that's just another task I'll be doing this weekend, and hopefully I can finish this. Hopefully with this bad boy right here, I can knock it out in just a couple hours. We'll see. Hey guys, back with a morning update here. So judging from the previous hole here where he was digging and trying to get back into his other stuff, he went down a maximum of 7 inches here before he gave up and tried another spot. So with that information, what I'm going to do is go down at least 12 inches here and then out, if I can, down 12 and out 12 to hopefully deter him and send him off another way. So I'm midway through this process here, 10 o'clock in the morning, already sweating my butt off. It's very, very hot out here, and actually it's more humid than hot, so just a nasty dripping day. I did, and you can't see it too much here, but I did manage to mow down the entire field out here, so less places for him to hide. So definitely lots of stuff done here. Give you a quick view of the orchard as we go along here. So lots and lots of apples on the trees. I lost all my pears and peaches due to a late April freeze. We went down to 19 degrees, so I lost all the blossoms off of them. I didn't lose the trees, but didn't get any fruit out of it. So that's it for now. I'll try to get you another post out before the end of the day. Okay guys, Todd back here. This is the final segment for the weekend. I got all the wire mesh put in here. You can see it there. I stopped right up here at this 2x4, which is up above. He seemed to come in right at the ground level there. So I have that all the way along from this end all the way up to the top here, and then we had it around the front before. So hopefully that'll be enough to keep the groundhog out. If not, I'll deal with whatever I have to do then. One of these days I'll meet him and give him a bad case of lead poisoning, but so far he's been mighty elusive. So that's it for this weekend and the weekend projects. So please visit our blog post, greatescapefarms.com, and also consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We're trying to put out quite a few YouTubes here, how-tos and all kinds of stuff on our homesteading and permaculture projects here. So I appreciate you guys subscribing. Also, if you like this video, do me a favor and go ahead and hit like on it. So that's it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend and week.